On to our third fight of the evening. We have David Zawada versus Alex Moreno. Moreno fighting out of Houston. The Great White is coming off of a win versus Cowboy Cerrone and a loss versus who's that? Anthony Pettis. He is 31 years old. Like I said, fighting out of Houston, Texas, coming out 170 pounds in the welterweight division, height of 5'11", reach of 72 inches. His opponent is, I believe, German, David Zawada.
Yeah.
Off his loss versus Razamim Imev. I know I fucking butchered that. He's coming at 17-6, and he's 31 as well. Also, welterweight division, obviously, coming at 6 foot with a 75-inch reach. So he has about a 3-inch reach advantage. Zach, you want to get us broken down?
Well, this is the only other fight that, not that I'm overtly concerned with the result on, I just feel a little bit unprepared for the moment. I feel like there's a lot of stuff on both of these guys that I didn't have time to consume this week. But my honest opinion is that, you can't really judge anybody based off of what they do to Cowboy Cerrone anymore. But compared to Zawada's last opponent, Ramazan Ameev, Donald Cerrone's pretty fucking good. And Morono looked nice in May. We haven't seen Zawada since January. Morono's the better striker here. He's got the better significant strike landed and the better significant strike absorbed, way better efficiency. They both have pretty good takedown defense, so I can't imagine that they're going to go wrestle each other like a bunch of gay, dogs. Son of a bitch. We're going to have to cut that out.
No, we're
not. Yeah, oh, yes, we are. But, I think Morono's got the striking advantage. I think he's going to land the shot, and I think he's going to get out of there with a pretty easy win.
I'm going to take the opposite side on this one. I, however, think that, like you said, this is similar to our last one with Khalil Roundtree and Bukakis, right? I think this is one that I probably want to stay away from on a gambling perspective. But I started out this past week thinking, Alex Morono fought a good fight against Cowboy Cerrone. I was like, okay, he's an up-and-comer. However, you go back and look, he's been fighting the UFC since 2016, I believe, at the beginning of 2016. So he's been around for a while. That was his first big name. Cowboys washed. Cowboys gone. But before that, before the Cowboy fight, Morono was matched up again in a 3-round fight versus Showtime Anthony Pettis, right?
Right.
Pettis, even though he's not in the UFC anymore, still a fantastic striker. One of the best that we've ever seen in the UFC, even during his twilight of his career in the UFC. Morono got one takedown in the first round and kept top position, but it was because of a slip. The rest of the fight, he got pieced up. He couldn't deal with Pettis' kickboxing acumen, right? So that's what worried me for Morono personally. I mean, it was a close fight, closer than you would probably imagine for Anthony Pettis versus somebody you never heard of. So that kind of worries me because when you go and look at David Zawada's tape, he is extremely skilled in the striking. He did come off loss because he was taken down several times, but I didn't see anything from Alex Morono that warranted me being worried that David Zawada was going to be taken down. So
no,
I think this is going to be a stand-up battle. And I just, obviously it's Anthony Pettis in a stand-up battle against Alex Morono. You're going to take Anthony Pettis. But at the same time, I think David Zawada is, athletically enough gifted and technically skilled kickboxer to do the same thing that Anthony Pettis did to him. I don't think that Alex Morono moves his head as well or gets out of the way of strikes for 170 pounds the way he does. And I also think that Zawada is a pretty big 170 pound. fighter. So,
Well, just like we said on the last one, the general question of, yeah, it could happen is the answer. It could happen either way. There's arguments on both sides, but in terms of gambling advice, we're going to take you to the odds. We're going to give you our opinions. We're going to try to win you some money, but being good friends like we are here at the Calf Kick Experience, sometimes the best advice we can give you is to stay the fuck away.
all right. Like Zach just said, this is a personal decision. We got Alex Morono as a favorite at -128 and David Zawada coming in at +120. I know we're taking different viewpoints, but go ahead and give us any props, parlays, what you think of Alex Morono, how he's going to take this one home.
I won't do it. I just quite simply will not do it because I think if you're going to bet on this fight, maybe there's some props in your opinion in terms of Zawada, but if you're picking Alex Morono, just stay safe. You have a pretty solid money line odd, even though he's not an underdog for a favorite. Those are good odds. And I think there's just other ways to allocate your spending for this weekend that will leave you much more profitable.
I mean, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, David Zawada at +120 is all right. I mean, being the underdog, I think that he's probably going to take it home. I think this fight probably goes to decision. I'm not sure how much -146, helps you out with David Zawada. I mean, also, you could take a flyer +650 Zawada by KO, but I just think that's so far out there, and I think they have that rightly placed at +650 that, if you're going to bet this one at all, you bet David Zawada. I mean, I think he's going to win it overall. I mean, obviously, if you're betting the money line, you think that, but I don't think it was an accurate representation his last time out versus the Meave.
I can hear that with a grain of salt, but like we say here every week, any given Saturday, either one of these guys could win. So I guess watch the fights because they're going to be good.